Renata Bergman. I work at ZX Ventures for Anheuser-Busch. A little bit of my background, I lived a little bit everywhere. So originally from Brazil, lived in Mexico, Liberia, a couple of other places, have been at ABI for 5+ years. I'm a former entrepreneur myself, so I know a lot what it feels like to be on the other side. So I co-founded Achkas, work at a couple of other startups like Pinspire and Glossybox, and I had an MBA from Harvard Business School. So a little bit more about ZX, right? Our mission is to empower entrepreneurs to unlock potential growth. So basically, we invest on companies that we think can be huge, that we really believe in the founders. So here are a couple of companies we invested in. So there's Goose Island, Babe, Ghost. Probably you heard of a few, and you see also they're pretty varied in terms of industry. So what we're looking for when we're talking to a company, right? We really care about the founding team. They need to be really strong. We need to believe in them. They need to very much follow the principles that we follow when hiring our own employees, which means someone that is passionate, humble, hardworking. We also want a very strong product, something that is very differentiated in a strong industry, and that has one day potential to be part of our own portfolio. So we say a lot that we're not, this is falling, sorry, financial investors. We only invest on companies that we can add value to. So a couple of quick things when someone comes talk to us that we really appreciate, right? Get to the point quickly. We talk to a lot of people. There's a lot going on, and we want to get the message really quickly so then we can have a conversation and have the time to do that. Highlight the consumer problem you're solving. What is the potential size of this? As someone that works for Anheuser-Busch InBev, we're looking for big problems. And as Steve was saying, that's not everyone. So get to that quickly so we can quickly see if this is a match. Describe the competitive set and how you're differentiated. Needless to say, our industry, there's so many players, right? I saw some statistics that less than 1% ever get to 50 million of brands that are started. So we want to know that you are differentiated and you have a chance to be on that very small percentage. Tell us why you're the right team. The team matters a lot, obviously. This is VC. You don't have a lot of traction yet. But do also show us what leads us to believe, right? What are a couple of metrics that, again, to what we were hearing before, it's all about uncertainty, right? The less uncertainty you have, the better for us. So show us why the uncertainty, maybe it's a little bit less than it looks. Be clear why you're raising funds, how you're going to use it, how it's going to take it to the next step. And don't shy away from anomalies, things that are not going so well. VCs are going to see it. They know. They're not expecting that you're the perfect company yet. You're still new. We can talk about it and have an honest discussion about it. A couple of metrics that, and again, this might vary from VC to VC, but we really appreciate to see. Repeat rate, I know it's a little bit of an annoying metric to get a lot of times, but consumers buying again and again your product matters a lot. If you have an e-commerce, a lot easier to get this metric, but sometimes you can get through coupons that you put on your purchase and then the person talks to you. Or if you're really big, you can get that from shopper data, but that tends to be a little bit harder. Sales velocity for us, kind of a golden metric, right? There is a lot of nuance on how you look at rate of sale. It should depend on your category, on your channel. But that, for me, basically, especially in a very early stage brand, means do consumer wants this, which really matters. Coverage, so are you being able to get enough stores where you can sell your product? This is not one of those metrics that the higher the better. The secret here is how do you grow coverage together with rate of sale? And depending on where you are in your life, coverage might matter more or less. Reorder rate, so basically from the retailer, are they reordering? Are they liking the product? Are they seeing the benefit? If they're not, that's a pretty big red flag. Either you're going to the wrong channel or you're not the right product and really need to rethink this. And NPS is a little bit of a weird one that we tend to like, but no, it's not very much a industry consensus. This is more of an e-commerce metric. But it's basically, would you recommend this product to your friend, which matters a lot, right? And you see Amazon uses these metrics, and a lot of times we do it. So we ask about the competitor, we ask about ourselves, the companies we're investing in, and understand, like, is this a passion brand? Is this something I'm gonna go out of my way to tell a friend about? One thing we were just discussing now is this is a little bit of a weird time to be fundraising, right? You just went through COVID, all the metrics are really weird, a lot of things changed, consumption changed, distribution changed, off-trade marketing changed, and then how can now investors understand your metrics? Couple of ideas, right? Set targets based on comparable SKUs. So if you're in the RTD spirit industry, look what happened to more established brands there. Did their rate of sale increase? Did it decrease? And kind of set your targets based on that. Consider extending the pilot. Consider selling for more time before fundraising, right? So you can get better answers and be easier to fundraise. And explain to investors, right? Like, this is what changed because of COVID. This is what we expect going forward. So, for example, for beer people like us, COVID actually helped sales. For other people, it didn't. But like, bring those answers to investors, especially if they don't know your industry as well as you do. A couple of quick tips, just helpful to have this slide there. A couple of data sources that could be helpful to you when you're building your sales deck. Global data, Euromonitor, IWSR, Mintel, just useful reports if you ever need market sizing, information, consumer trends. A couple of quotes from those, always helpful. RI is an amazing point of sales data. You probably already know. I think the interesting thing is, like, we pay a lot for it, but as a startup, you actually don't. And a lot of people don't even talk to them because they just think they're super expensive, but they actually have very interesting packages if you're small. Have a couple of different tools for following social. So if you are there on social media and want to know what's happening, who's your audience, you have Social Standard, Tagger. These are just a couple of ideas. There are definitely a million others, but just a place to get started. And then Perksy and Qualtrics are just good platforms for you to run primary research. We do think there's a lot of value to primary research. A lot of times through secondary, you can get to hypothesis, but then actually asking to the consumer, like, what do you think this brand stands for? Does it look refreshing or anything else that is important to you? You can get a lot of value. And that is that in a nutshell. Just kept it very quick. Happy to answer any questions. And do get in touch with us if you want to know anything more after, or like maybe think that we could be a fit as an investor for your company.